What's up, YouTube? Back again for another album review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the first album in the history of Shinedown's, musical career. This was their first album release. It came out in 2003. This album's Leave a Whisper. Now this is obviously Shinedown was much heavier, grungier kind of band when they first started, and they kind of slowly started to transform into a little more mainstream, I guess you could say, which isn't a bad thing, because as I've mentioned before, I absolutely love Shinedown, and they're one of my favorite bands ever, and I love pretty much all their stuff. But this was definitely one of their this is probably their heaviest album, and as far as like a debut album goes, this is a great way to get your name out there for people to know. This album had a couple, big hits for them that got them really started to get them known, and it's really, and obviously they ended up turning into one of the bigger bands of one of the biggest bands of the 21st century for sure. So I'll go ahead and get into the track listing here. This is their debut album, Leave a Whisper. This is on vinyl I got a couple years back. It's really good. Alright, so side A kicks off with the first song, Fly From the Inside. See if you can see it or not. 1 second. Yeah. Fly From the Inside. I mean, that's an absolutely awesome song. That's probably one of my, that arguably is my favorite Shinedown song. I don't know, I don't think I have a favorite, but Fly From the Inside is one of the best. This is an absolutely perfect way to open up this album. Fly From the Inside is absolutely a killer song. One of my absolute favorite Shinedown songs of all time. One of the best rockers. Some of the best lyrics, vocals by Brent Smith in this. This is an absolutely killer song. Fly From the Inside is awesome. I love it to death. Then we have the next song, Left Out. This is a really good song. Really good rocker. Kind of more, really good rocker. Kind of grungier. Like Left Out's a very, very good song. I really enjoyed this song. It's a really heavy song. One of the best ones on here as well. So Left Out, very good. Follow up to the first song. Then we have the third song, Lost in the Crowd. This is another awesome song. I'm a big fan of this song. I've been listening to this song a lot lately. It's more kind of, I guess, mid-pace kind of stuff going on. This is a very, very good song. I've been listening to this song a lot lately. I really wasn't into it, honestly, as much at first, because I really didn't listen to this album in its entirety enough times. But now I'm a big fan of Lost in the Crowd. It's awesome. Then we have the next song, No More Love. This is another good song. It's more grungier, mid-paced, kind of, pretty good rocker as well. So this just continues a trend. You're going to hear that a lot in this review, because a lot of these songs are grungier, kind of post-grunge. That's one of the Shinedown's, genres they're considered, I guess, post-grunge. But No More Love's another good song. Not great, but good. Side B starts with Better Version. This is another good song. It's another, pretty good rocker, really. Catchy. It's catchy. It's got some good lyrics. The chorus is really catchy. So this is a good song. It's not like nearly as good as some of the stuff on here, but Better Version's still a good song. Nothing to complain about it. Then we have the next song, Burning Bright. Great song. This is one of the ones they played on the radio quite a bit over the years, and Burning Bright's a great song. One of my favorite Shinedown songs. Some of the best Shinedown. Oh, this is probably one of their best songs, best performances ever, honestly. Burning Bright's a great song. One of the best ones they've ever put out, and one of the best ones on here for sure. So that's a great song there. Then we have In Memory. This is a pretty good song. It's more slower pace, mid-pace kind of a song. It's not one of the best necessarily on here, but it is a pretty good song. There's not a bad song on this album, put it that way. So In Memory is pretty good. Just leave it at that. Then you have All I Ever Wanted. This is a pretty good song. It's a little more on the basic side, I guess, generic kind of. It's not that it's generic, it's just that it's not nearly as good as some of the stuff on here. So All I Ever Wanted is still a pretty good song, so that, that's all I can really get into that one. Side C starts off with Stranger Inside, and this is another pretty good song. I mean, there's not a bad song on the album. I mean, this song, it kind of is the same mold as All I Ever Wanted. It's a little more basic, I guess you could say, but it's still a pretty good song. It's nothing too negative to say about it, so they're pretty good there. Then we have Lacerated, and this is an okay song. This is probably my, I don't know, least favorite or second least favorite on the album. So it's not that it's a bad song, because it's not a bad song. It's a pretty good rocker. It's a good, pretty, rocking kind of song, but it's not one of my favorites. It's an okay song. We'll just leave it at that. It's not bad though. Then we have Crying Out. This is another okay song. Crying Out and Lacerated are my two least favorites on here, and I can't really decide which, but they're both okay. Just like I said before, there's not a bad song on this album, so Crying Out's still okay. Then we have the last song on the album, 45, and this is Shinedown's probably first hit, and this is an absolutely awesome song. 45 is a killer, awesome song. One of the best ones on here. One of the best songs they ever put out, easily. And it still holds up great to this day, even though this album's, 14 years old, going on 14 years old. But 45 is a very, very good song. Probably their first hit, so that's awesome. Inside D, this is actually just covers, like just different versions of songs like Burning Bright and 45, and then obviously Shinedown's version of Simple Man was absolutely incredible. That was a big hit for them too. Simple Man and 45 were probably their two biggest hits to start off, so that's cool that they have that on the vinyl as well. But yeah, this album, very, very good. It is extremely consistent. There's not a bad song on the album. There's only 2 songs that I think are just okay. The last 2, or not the last 2, but 2 of the last 3 songs on the album I think are just okay, but everything else is at least pretty good, and most of it's great. A lot of it's great, anyways. So as far as my rating goes for this album, I'd probably give it about an 8 out of 10, probably, because it's a very consistent album, and you can't, I don't think I can really go any lower than that, because it's a very consistent album. So yeah, it's just a great way to start off their career. So yeah, that was my review of Shinedown's debut album, Leave a Whisper. Thank you all for watching, and more videos will be up in the future. Thanks for watching.